Space Experiment, written by Jean Harding and read by Claudette Evans. For some years, our space explorers have been mapping and checking the suitability for human habitation. The planets around our nearest star, the triple solar system of Alpha Centauri. This consists of Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri A, and Alpha Centauri B. This is only just over 4 light-years away, so well within our reach with the new breed of antimatter engines. The story of John Galloway. I am John Galloway, ferryman between Earth and the Moon. Dull, boring work, mostly passengers for the mining establishments. I live in a small flat on the 30th floor of one of the many close, packed tower blocks on the edge of the ferry base. The blocks are covered in plants, but I live with artificial light and recycled air. I mostly see the ferry base and the disembarking bay on the moon. On my 1 day off a week, I usually visit my parents who are approaching their leaving party date, when they will walk into the evaporating chamber at age 70. They've chosen to go together. Is that any wonder that I'm dissatisfied with my life and wish for more? When I heard at the ferry base the rumours that the space authorities were looking for volunteers for a possible one-way mission, I jumped at the chance of escape. The chip embedded in my brain at birth must have told them my thoughts that anything would be better than the life I had now. It did, and I was approached. We were to be part of a pilot project to ascertain whether a planet around Alpha Centauri was really suitable for permanent colonization. There were 50 of us, including 10 women, all chosen for their independent streak and their trade or profession. We were all between 25 and 35 years old and healthy individuals. The training took 10 months. Then we had an extra chip put in our brain that would record everything we thought. We took our seats in the spaceship at the moon base and began the journey. When we reached our destination, we were ferried in a shuttle in groups to the surface, dropping into a compound which was surrounded by a tall electric fence. I was in one of the early groups, and the first thing I noticed as I stepped out of the shuttle was a low, deep hum. This, I already knew, was our power supply, deep below the surface of the planet. I had asked if it had a backup arrangement should anything go wrong with it, but was assured it was infallible. We soon got used to it. After a while, we just did not hear it. We had learnt about the terraforming that was done to get the planet ready for us. Although this was a comparatively new science, they were confident that we had all the needed for the 3-year stay. My job is to fly and maintain the shuttles we keep here, making sure everything I might need is in my store. I ferry other specialists to their area of work, and also help in monitoring the carnivorous species that live in the caves in the high rocky centre of the planet. As they are nighttime prowlers only, they are difficult to study. It is dangerous work, taking our 2 biologists low enough to use a searchlight on them. They seem to have a leathery skin, with sparse coarse hair, large leathery feet with claws like a cat. They run fast, but they can also raise themselves on their back legs like a bear. They appear to be intelligent creatures, who sometimes hunt alone, but often in packs. Their only weakness is a fear of light. Before dawn, they retreat deep into their caves in the rocks. It is to protect us from them that we have our big electric fence. Life in the compound is comfortable. We can eat in a communal dining room, or we can have food served in our rooms. Our rooms consist of a bedroom with ensuite and a large living room with a dining table, to which we can invite friends. There are plenty of public facilities such as swimming pool, gymnasium, soundproof music room. We're comfortable with each other and have made closer friends. One of mine is Mary Stocker. She's one of the 2 nurses that we have in the compound. It's difficult to plan a get-together because she's often on duty in the evening, and I have my duty with the biologists. But we have a fixed date next week. At last the day has come. I dress for dinner. As I'm walking over to Mary's room, I see a light on the fence fading and realise I can no longer hear the hum. I press the alarm button. It's weak, then fades. Our generator lights fade. I grab Mary and we run for my shuttle, which has lights, but it's over the other side of the compound. Just as we reach it, we hear the chitter in the throat of the hunting creatures, the screams of victims, and manage to lift off just in time before they reach us. I turn the beam on and the creatures, who recoil angrily. They're in a feeding frenzy now. I drive them before me, attempting to drive them out of the compound, but it's futile. Meanwhile, Mary has been trying to send out an SOS or raise anyone. Why isn't someone reading the terror being transmitted by our extra chips? There's no response. I can't stay airborne forever. It occurs to me, Riley, that I've gone this evening from dinner guest to probably meal of the party. I'm making them really angry. This shuttle has skis on ready for a trip to the lake, and one of the creatures jumps over it. The shock of its weight nearly swings me out of control. God, these brutes are heavy. We're in a narrow passage between buildings, so I can't tip it off. Then another one joins it. I limp towards the end of the passage, but then there's a huge thump on the roof, which takes us to the ground. Mary reaches in a locker, takes 2 small capsules out. I can hear claws ripping into the roof. Goodbye, world.